So this is the European Society for Ecological Economics website. The European Society is a regional member of the broader International Society for Ecological Economics, and we just held a conference actually in Oslo last week, and it was really nice to bring together all of the different regional societies and members of ecological economics, as well as it was a joint conference with the degrowth movement, degrowth researchers and collective. So here's the website. And if you go to resources, you can see that there are these top two recently added tools. One is an ecological economics map, and the other is a curriculum development platform. The ecological economics map is at the top because it's kind of probably the most all-purpose, and it's currently just for Europe. There's now, more than 100 different initiatives. Just generally, the colors here you can see are research hubs or master's programs, bachelor programs, or individual courses. And you can effectively just the aim of it is to start making visible where students and researchers could actually find programs in ecological economics. So you can see a big hub here in Barcelona. It's a first iteration. It's not like it's something that I created in my kind of volunteer spare time. It could be better, definitely much better. Here's the University of Barcelona, for example. Oh no, that's research and degrowth, which is of course, a research hub. Here's the University of Barcelona. There's a School of Economics, and so on and so on. So I guess the aim here was to start making visible some of the programs that are available. Something that really comes out, and of course, I've tried my best to collect as much information and data as possible, but of course, this is not exhaustive. But what we really find is there's a lack of bachelor's programs in particular. So that, we would love for, like, here's one in socioeconomics at Roskilde University, but there are generally very, very few bachelor's program. So, I mean, to me, that's where rethinking economics is really, really fighting the good fight. Because, I mean, if you have to force everyone to go through 4 years of a bachelor's program before they can then get into, some type of heterodox or post growth or different types of thinking, then we're missing out on a whole lot of learners and opportunity to get people interested and engaged before they start before they start learning, off dedicating a whole bunch of time to frameworks and paradigms that are not helpful for the 21st century. So this is something that's come out of the map itself. There's an open call here where if anyone has, looking at it's currently only available for Europe. I'm quite keen, of course, to make that international. An issue with doing so is that what came up earlier with the other, I know that there are programs in the United States at the University of Vermont and at Maryland and McGill University in Canada, for example, but without putting in the time to actually crowdsource like a reasonable amount of data. If we just put in three little dots, it's going to make North America look very lonely, and similarly for Asia and similarly for others. So I'm very interested in kind of going region by region almost and actually crowdsourcing a much more comprehensive view of what might be out there. And I don't have much expertise beyond Europe to do so. But in the meanwhile, we have this dedicated Google form where people, if they know of other programs that aren't on the map, you can put it in, and I will add it to the next iteration. And the idea there is that it can keep growing and that we can keep making it better. So that's one tool. And the other tool is this curriculum development platform. And this was led by my colleague Richard Barnthaler. And here it's a collaborative space designed to support learners and educators in shaping and enriching ecological economics courses. So it's specifically focused around teaching and in curricula, and it includes presentations, syllabi, other resources like podcasts. There's some games and interactive tools, case studies, it's assignments, and so on. And this curriculum platform, it's actually it's a Google Drive. It's a weird kind of crowdsourced a bunch of different options, but really at its core, it's a Google Drive folder. And within it, you can see for example, lecture, presentations, things. And Donut Economics for University courses is here, just as a, the links to all the materials are on this document. But of course, then you can see ecological economics, a workshop, foundations of degrowth, and and there's a whole lot of information here. This is also kind of a first offer that that we're providing without kind of waiting to make it super snazzy and fancy and maybe web-based platform. It's just to get the resources out there. And once again, if people want to contribute, there is an open call that you can just put in any contributions, and Richard is just going to be integrating those into the other folders. And so that's kind of a way that we're trying to make a shared resource. What did you call it? A resource bank, so to speak, which is kind of open for everyone and that others can pick up and use and don't have to start from scratch, I guess, is the main idea. So those are two tools that I think might be useful